How are we doing, guys? Welcome to my game of theories. Today, I want to talk about what is undoubtedly my favourite theory that I've loved discussing with the community. Is Jon Snow's lineage really the Song of Ice and Fire? To me, it's been seemingly very easy for people to decipher the R plus L equals J theory, and that's been talked about for well over a decade now. I also refuse to believe that the metaphorical meaning of this masterpiece is based on one man's lineage that was a story about an honourable man leaving his wife and children for another woman. Is that really what George was about? Spending 20 years to create, us to get to where we are now, and is that his pinnacle? Assuming that the title to his novels was one of the foundations of this story, it would be extremely unlikely that the entire world, lore, and history of Game of Thrones would be written around this fact that has so far only been used as the catalyst for Robert's rebellion. I mean, in the books, it hasn't even been confirmed yet, and in the TV show, we only just got paid off in the final episode. We're 60 episodes in, with only 15 more to go, and I don't see how it's now going to be having any real impact on the events that need to take place. I do think, however, that based on a few things we've had in the TV show, many things that we've had in the books, and more importantly, the reveal of the next book's cover artwork, that we have enough clues and evidence to suggest that the true meaning of A Song of Ice and Fire is about to be revealed to us. So hear me out, guys. So, to get you started, in case you haven't seen it yet, the artwork on the next book, which is called The Winds of Winter, is of an extraordinary looking horn marked with ancient carvings and glyphs. To make its way onto the front cover, I can only assume that this is clearly going to be of some significance in the immediate, final chapters of this epic story. The good thing about this reveal is that we can already link this to one of at least two horns that are mentioned in the books, and that are hinted at and briefly seen even in the TV show. They are the Horn of Joramun, that's also known as the Horn of Winter, and the other one is called Dragonbinder, which is known as Hellhorn. So if you haven't read the books, you're probably asking yourself, what the fuck are these horns? But let me tell you, that if these clues do have some strength to them, and these are revealed in the TV show, and fully confirmed in the books, then we are going to be presented with something that's immensely special, that is going to be paramount to this entire story. So we're going to jump in and out of the books to see what we know, starting with the Horn of Joramun. The Horn of Winter is a legendary horn with magical properties. It was supposedly blown by Joramun, a wildling king beyond the wall, to awaken giants, but it's also currently claimed that by blowing the horn, it can destroy the wall. The horn has shown itself several times throughout history, but most notably being used to defeat the first Night's King by Bran the Breaker, who was dubbed King of Winter, he was the Lord of Winterfell, and by Joramun, who was the king beyond the wall. It has since passed into legend, only to be sought after by Mance Rayder in the books, who was unsuccessful in finding the horn. If this artwork on the new book cover is going to be confirmation of the existence of the Horn of Winter, then has the Night's King come into possession of this weapon and found a way to break down the wall? Or could it be the other horn that we know called Dragonbinder? So still in the books, but this part for sure looks to be coming through even in the TV show. So Hellhorn is a large horn that's banded in Valyrian steel. The horn was seized by Euron Greyjoy from 4 warlocks of Karth when he came across their ship when he was banished from the Iron Islands. It's even said that he's found other things like Valyrian armor and even another dragon egg that had also been petrified and turned to stone. So after he kills Balon Greyjoy and he wins the Salt Throne, in the books he claims that he will conquer Westeros with dragons, and specifically states that he knows where 3 dragons are, hinting at Daenerys. And in the TV show, we know that he wanted to build a fleet to seduce Daenerys. So you can only assume that with the similarities in both storylines, that it shows his intention to use the horn and steal the dragons. What if this horn can be used to hatch petrified dragon's eggs? Or even used as the missing element to forge Valyrian steel? This would set up the perfect fight, both in the books and of course on the TV show. It would drop the expectation that Daenerys has an easy war on her hands, and if my previous theories are right, on Sansa being kidnapped, and with Euron being a warlock, if they're accurate, then it would mean that Euron would have the perfect weapons to partner with Cersei, and that with Jon and the North, they would be forced to engage in an alliance with Daenerys, and we would see an epic battle that would consume all of Westeros. Could this image be confirmation of the Horn of Winter and that it does exist? Will we see them both in the show? What if both of these horns exist, and everything we know and everything we've seen has been building towards both of their reveal? The Horn of Winter, the embodiment of ice, blown by the White Walkers to destroy the wall, the one thing keeping them out of mainland Westeros. The Hellhorn, Dragonbinder, the embodiment of fire, blown by the surviving Targaryens, Jon and Daenerys, to bind all remaining dragons to them and forge more Valyrian steel. Isn't that literally the song of ice and fire? Musical instruments that are played and used as the most important weapons and tools in the war for all humanity against the Night's King and his army. That to me would sum up 20 years of work into what the Song of Ice and Fire truly means. Really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then be sure to check out the other two theories that link up with this one. And if you want to show your support, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to click that subscribe button. Until the weekend, peace!